Every massive empire begins somewhere small. Behind the world's biggest companies are stories that start in garages, basements, dorm rooms, and tiny apartments. Places where ambition outshone resources, where vision collided with risk, and where ordinary people dared to challenge the status quo. Some of the world's most successful companies weren't born from wealth, privilege, or guaranteed success. They were born from grit, persistence, and a willingness to fail repeatedly until everything worked. Today, we explore the journeys of founders who defied the odds, transformed industries, and turned humble beginnings into global empires. The garage that sparked a revolution. Many iconic companies trace their roots to a single garage. These are not just spaces, they are symbols of possibility, creativity, and relentless effort. A garage represents limited resources, but unlimited ambition. For these founders, the garage was a laboratory, an office, a testing ground. They worked long hours, often with minimal funding, and turned what seemed like nothing into something extraordinary. Every prototype, every late-night brainstorming session, every failure was a step toward a breakthrough. The lesson is clear. Innovation doesn't require luxury. It requires vision and determination. What matters is how founders leverage the limited resources available, turning obstacles into opportunities. Many of today's global giants started with a single idea and the courage to act. Perseverance against the odds. The path from startup to giant is rarely linear. Founders face rejection, skepticism, and financial strain. Investors may turn them down. Markets may be skeptical. Family and friends may question their sanity. But founders who succeed refuse to give up. They iterate, pivot, and experiment relentlessly. Early failures aren't setbacks, they are learning experiences. The story of these entrepreneurs demonstrates that perseverance is as important as intelligence or technical skill. Vision without execution is meaningless. The founders who defied odds were those who refused to quit when the world told them no. Their resilience laid the foundation for empires that today span continents. Innovation as a driving force. What separates a global giant from a mediocre company is innovation. These founders didn't just follow trends, they created them. They identified problems that no one else saw and developed solutions that changed industries. Innovation isn't always about inventing something entirely new. Sometimes, it's about improving existing products, creating a better experience, or discovering a more efficient way to do business. The founders who built empires excelled at seeing possibilities where others saw limits. Finance, logistics, marketing, and operations all followed the innovation. They were tools to scale the vision. Without the spark of ingenuity, even the best resources can't propel a company to global dominance. Risk-taking, betting everything on an idea. Every startup involves risk, but these founders took calculated yet bold risks. They invested their own money, worked without salaries, and gambled their reputations on uncertain ideas. Risk-taking is uncomfortable. It means embracing uncertainty, facing potential failure, and challenging conventional wisdom. But the greatest founders view risk not as a threat, but as a necessary ingredient for growth. By daring to defy conventional advice, they position themselves to capture opportunities that others overlooked. In many cases, taking risks when no one else would was the key to turning a garage startup into a global powerhouse. The power of visionary leadership. A company is more than a product, it's a culture, a vision, and a story that inspires employees, customers, and investors. Founders who built global giants understood the power of leadership. They didn't just manage, they inspired. They communicated a clear mission, set ambitious goals, and created environments where teams could thrive. Employees weren't just workers, they were believers, collaborators, and innovators. Visionary leadership allowed these companies to grow sustainably, scale rapidly, and adapt to challenges. It's what transformed small startups into organizations capable of competing on a global stage, leveraging finance and strategic growth. Even with innovation, perseverance, and vision, scaling a company globally requires financial acumen. Founders needed to secure funding, manage cash flow, and make strategic investments. Smart financing allowed them to expand operations, enter new markets, and weather inevitable downturns. they understood that growth without financial planning is unstable. By balancing risk and strategy, they transformed limited resources into powerful engines of expansion. Financial strategy became a critical tool in turning startups into global giants, ensuring the vision could survive the challenges of scaling internationally. The role of timing and market opportunity. Success often depends on being in the right place at the right time. Founders who defied odds identified opportunities that coincided with market trends, technological breakthroughs, or social shifts. Timing amplified their innovation. A brilliant idea launched too early might fail, while one introduced too late could be overshadowed by competitors. The most successful founders combined foresight with agility, recognizing windows of opportunity and acting decisively. Their ability to navigate timing alongside innovation and risk-taking helped them transform small startups into household names. Overcoming competition and adversity. Global giants rarely grow without facing intense competition. Many founders started in crowded industries where established players dominated. Yet, by emphasizing differentiation, quality, and unique value, they carved their niche. Adversity also shaped resilience. Economic downturns, regulatory challenges, and logistical hurdles tested their determination. But overcoming obstacles strengthened companies, built credibility, and reinforced their ability to scale. The journey from garage to global leader is never smooth. It's defined by the ability to persist, adapt, and innovate despite competition and adversity. Scaling, culture, and maintaining core values. As startups grow, maintaining culture and core values becomes critical. Founders who build global giants understand that a company's identity is as important as its products or services. They create environments that preserve creativity, accountability, and innovation. Scaling globally doesn't mean losing the essence that made the startup successful. Culture becomes the glue that holds diverse teams together, enabling consistent performance across regions. Strong culture also attracts talent and builds loyalty among employees and customers. A competitive advantage that compounds as the company expands. Adaptability. Thriving in a changing world. No matter how brilliant an idea or strong a company culture, success depends on adaptability. Founders who turn garage startups into global giants anticipate change, embrace uncertainty, and pivot when necessary. Markets evolve, technology advances, and consumer behavior shifts. What works today might fail tomorrow. Adaptable founders monitor trends, listen to feedback, and aren't afraid to adjust their strategies. Sometimes this means changing the product, entering new markets, or even overhauling the business model entirely. By staying flexible while holding onto their core vision, these leaders ensure their companies remain relevant and competitive across decades and geographies. Adaptability, combined with vision and perseverance, is what allows humble startups to survive challenges, outlast competitors, and grow into enduring global empires. Impact beyond profits. The greatest founders don't just create wealth, they create impact. Their companies transform industries, change consumer behavior, and influence global markets. Some go further, shaping philanthropy, technology, and social innovation. The legacy of a global giant isn't measured solely in revenue, it's measured in the opportunities it creates, the problems it solves, and the lives it touches. Founders who defy odds leave a mark on society, inspiring future entrepreneurs to take risks, innovate, and dream bigger. Lessons for aspiring entrepreneurs. From garage startup to global giant, these stories teach invaluable lessons. Vision matters more than resources. A clear goal fuels persistence and innovation. Perseverance is non-negotiable. Failure is part of the journey, not the end. Risk-taking is essential. Calculated, bold moves differentiate the ambitious from the average. Leadership shapes destiny. Culture, communication, and inspiration drive growth. Financial strategy enables sustainability. Scaling globally requires careful planning and smart investment. By embracing these principles, aspiring founders can navigate uncertainty and transform small ideas into global success stories. The extraordinary potential of ordinary beginnings. Every global giant began somewhere small. A garage, a dorm room, a kitchen table. Every founder faced skepticism, financial strain, and countless obstacles. And yet, through vision, perseverance, risk-taking, and leadership, they defied the odds. The journey from humble beginnings to global dominance shows that extraordinary outcomes are possible, even without extraordinary resources. What matters most is ambition, resilience, and the courage to act. For every aspiring entrepreneur, these stories serve as a reminder. The next global giant could start today, anywhere, with a single idea and the determination to see it through. And when it does, the world will watch, astonished, as another garage startup grows into a company that changes lives, industries, and history.